at FedEx Field.
The enthusiasm for football here on the East Coast always in the air. These folks are ready as their guys get set to match up
with the Seattle Seahawks. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. On the ground, this is Rashad Penny. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And they'll work from the 29 on 2nd and 6.
Here's Haskins to throw. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
Well, remember, they tried to give him the ball and let him run on the last play, but I think the light bulb went off in their play caller's mind, and this time they get it to him the more conventional way, and it's much more successful as well.
Throwing now, Haskins on first down. They set up the screen to Penny. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And all the way down to the 25-yard line. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
Well, that was a beautifully executed screen pass. They let the rushers get upfield and get the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front. Completed the pass beautifully. So now you've got all that open space with big guys leading the way.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Now Rashad Penny. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
That was a pretty good job defensively to hold them to a 2-yard run, but I've got to think this offensive line, they're asking their quarterback for a different type of a run, one that they rely on, one they have confidence in, one they feel like they can block.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Looking to throw, Haskins. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Haskins will throw. And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return. Well, it's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions. Can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, How about giving me an opportunity?
A first carry now for Kofrani Muhammad. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
A gain of 11.
That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only they're controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking.
And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Reuben Foster, the former national champion at Alabama, gets in for the sack.
It's second down.
And Russell Wilson gets sacked, and he tied for the most sacks in the NFL last season with 48 in total. But Seattle likes to throw the ball deep, so that means you're going to take more time to get the ball downfield. Sometimes the offensive line can't hold up, and he ends up hitting the deck on those plays.
After the sack on first down, Wilson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a third down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
An extra man here in the secondary for Washington on third down. From the gun, it's Wilson. And he's got Lockett. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A Seahawk first down as Wilson finds Lockett.
First down.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
He was brought down by
a nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll run with a former Tar Heel, T.J. Logan. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
Loss of a yard on the play. And it's 3rd down.
And defensively going with a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd and 4. Well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 3rd and medium, they opted to run instead of pass, and it worked. First down. They'll run on first down. Muhammad, 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
The ball carrier.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Seahawks.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Able to get this to Gordon. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 9-yard line. It's 14. 16 yards, a first down. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
From the 9, 2nd and 5.
On the carry, it's Logan. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
He was brought down at the 4.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on third down conversions. They need a yard here.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts.
They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. He may try and run for this. The decision to go for it pays off, and now they're set up 1st and goal. That may be a sneak peek on this opening drive of what this young rookie can showcase, his legs.
And normally, as you start a game, you're just thinking, can he get the snap? Can he hand off? Can he just execute? Instead, he doesn't waste any time on wrapping another dimension to his game, showing off those wheels, and picking up some nice yardage.
1st and goal from the 3.
They'll try to run this one in. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
The ball carrier.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Trying to run this one in. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
On the sneak, it's Hurts.
And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. So call that no gain on the sneak, and now they're still a yard short here on 4th.
At the 1-yard line.
The offense is staying out there. Here we go on 4th and goal from the 1. They'll try and run for it. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Jason Myers now for the extra point. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead.
Washington, nothing. Michael Dixon to kick off for Seattle.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
From the 10.
The lane opens here. He's past the 30.
And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36.
10 at their own 36-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
At the 43-yard line.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Haskins. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Out of the shotgun, Haskins. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep two eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting two hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. And he's going to be trapped inside his own 5. A very curious decision to bring that one out. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. That'll go for a gain of 13, helping big time to get away from that end zone. 1st down.
And the Seahawks 1st down.
2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He lets it fly. He's got a man, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one good for 37 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. This is Carson. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Seahawk ball carrier.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
And to give this time to the tailback. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
He was taken.
If you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Now it's Carson. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on fourth. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And able to find Dorsett.
Wilson's pass.
Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll run it. This is Muhammad. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. He lost 6 there on the first down play.
The tackle made back at the 39-yard line.
And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit.
Yard attempt.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. One touchdown here. 7-0 is our score. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. And he can't field it cleanly. It's loose. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. This is Logan. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On second down, it's Carson, and he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Chris Carson has proven to be a workhorse for the Seattle Seahawks, and they continue to expand his game. We know that he can run inside and be a bruising type of a player, but he has surprising speed to the perimeter, and they've expanded his game now by throwing it to him out of the backfield. In 2019, in the top 10 in the league in touches and yards from scrimmage.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
At the 48-yard line.
Second and 12. This time Wilson will throw. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown.
Complete to number 14.
DK Metcalf with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. And it's good to make it 14-0.
Makes the score Seahawks 14. Washington, nothing. Michael Dixon to kick off.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Taken from about the 12. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
Washington will take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Shaquille Griffin in on the stop defensively.
4 yards.
They still have time to get them established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Here's Haskins out of the gun. He's going to look deep down the field. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, they really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, and especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
You can't block me.
Off the play fake. Here's Haskins. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And he's going to score. It's a C.
But I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And the kick here is good with a penalty flag down as well. And they may have run into him after the kick went away. So 5 yards for running into. Lucky it wasn't 15 for roughing.
No doubt about it, because they protect the kickers and the guys holding the ball almost as much as they protect quarterbacks in the pocket. They don't want those types of injuries.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
Washington takes over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
Haskins and the Washington offense going to come up here 1st and 10 right at the 30. They'll try and get the run game going. This is Penny. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
He's tackled.
But they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
On 2nd and 9, Haskins. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the 3rd quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Let's get off the field.
Now Haskins.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete.
And he'll only get this to about the 35, well short of the line to gain. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. Here's Tressway now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Wilson back into his end zone. Got Gordon open, completes it. And able to get it across the 10 to the 15.
Josh Gordon.
Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down.
And the Seahawks.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
On 1st down, Muhammad. And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. And that's a loss of 7 on the 1st down play.
He's taken down back at his own 8-yard line.
They go play action now. Wilson going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Play action. It's Wilson. They'll roll him out right. He finds Dorsett. It's complete. And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Now, a lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Now here's Michael Dixon. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. And it's fielded at the 34. A pretty good return, all things considered, but holding.
I agree with you totally. It's actually a return that they were going to be very proud of. But when you end up holding and bringing it back, now your offense has to start a little bit deeper in their own territory.
Haskins and the Washington offense going to come up here 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line.
Mike's 54. Mike's 54. Push him back. Push him back.
Here's Haskins. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Dwayne Haskins.
Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble, because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
Another try after the first down sack. Haskins slings this deep from McLaurin. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Washington on third down, not good, 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. From the gun, it's Haskins. And now he'll fire deep downfield for James. And it's incomplete. Both players had a shot at that one. Neither can get it, and it brings up fourth down.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
They'll try and throw for it with Haskins. And James has it. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at about the 32. And from the shotgun, he'll throw to Gordon out left. A gain of 6 there on first.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
Every player I know tends to play the game in his mind before it actually happens. There's no way he thought that at this stage of the game, this would be his first big run like that.
Yeah, but it's got to feel for him like the floodgates open, a sigh of relief. Now we'll see if things can open up for him.
See if it can continue.
The throw here going to be complete to Gordon. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Josh Gordon, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. It's good, and they stretch.
Washington, nothing. Michael Dixon to kick off for Seattle.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded right around the 8. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
Washington will take over 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. On 1st and 10, it's Haskins. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll get nothing out of that one. No gain on the screen there at 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Throwing again on 2nd down. Haskins. And some room to work. There he goes left side. And he's going to score.
it's a Seahawk touchdown.
That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead will swell by one more.
Michael Dixon to kick off for Seattle.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
On the return, Washington takes over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Hey, let's get that ball here. Let's get that ball right here.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Gibson. Still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
On 3rd down, Gibson. And he's got the first, but we also have a flag on the field. And they're already walking backwards. So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long?
Watch the run. Watch the run. He's soft, baby. That's baby soft. Mike's 54. Mike's 54. It's our kid. 60 Maverick.
Now Allen. And he fires one that's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it. And he will not get all the way home, but he will take this back down to about the 2-yard line.
Intercepted.
The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Even though they've got this big advantage, Charles, they are not taking their foot off the gas pedal right now.
Well, I think what we're seeing is the result of all their great preparation and great practice time during the week. And even though it seems like this is a great chance to pull people back and maybe, not try and score a few more times, they don't want to do that. I think they're enjoying what they're seeing, the collective effort, and they want to play it all the way out.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
Washington will take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, unbeat yourself as you move on to the next one.
It's 2nd and 8.
So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Definitely desperation time. This just looks like, hey, throw it down there, hope that your guy can make a play.
You want him to make a play, but if not, maybe you get a pass interference call, and you know in the NFL, that's a spot foul. You get all of that yardage. That would be a big play.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Throwing is Allen on 3rd. Now they go screen. It's complete. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. 8 yards on the screen there, not enough. And it'll be 4th down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. One final try here for Allen. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
43-yard line.
Allen now on 1st down. He's going to let it fly. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. It's Quentin Dunbar with a pick. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. On the carry, it's Muhammad. And a short 3-yard pickup gets him up to the 15.
Muhammad, the ball carrier.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here.
Today's final score.
So the victory here for Seattle. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out.